Sarah, long time no see. Hey, heard you tied the knot with someone? And the man you're with now is making $500,000 every year? For some reason, the fact that everything is always about you is so mean. So, because things aren't fair, I'm going to be taking him. Tell me where you guys are living right now. What the heck? Never thought I'd need to talk with someone as mentally unstable as you again. What? You jerk! How dare you say that about your cute little sister? And if you were a cute little sister to me, then you wouldn't be saying crap like how you plan to take my husband away from me. Oh, you think so? Well, there's no point in trying to hide the glaring facts from you now, since everyone else seems to be talking about them. So yes, it's true. I got married to someone. But my husband is nothing more than your average office worker with a pretty basic salary. I have no idea what you're talking about when you said $500,000 a year. What? So if you're thinking of taking my husband away from me in the hopes that you'll become rich, that's never going to work out for you. And it's not like you're going to be able to steal him from me now anyway. Huh? What was that? What are you going on about? How come I won't be able to steal him from you? I'm not going to say why you won't be able to. That would end up giving away the kind of situation I'm in right now, so you're not getting anything else from me about that. Oh, I get it now. You're trying to cover everything up by lying to me, all so that I won't think there's any reason to bother you guys, and I'll just give up, right? But that's too bad. I already know where you and your husband are living right now, so there's no use in trying to cover anything up. What? You knew about where I live, yet you asked me anyway? I asked because I already know. Anyway, my plan to come out there and take your husband away from you will be starting tomorrow, bright and early. I know for a fact that he should be all over someone as young and pretty as me, instead of some old disgusting hag like yourself. It won't even be a gamble getting him from you. Ugh. Is that right? If you think that you can get him, then please come and try your best. Huh? See ya. Huh? How dare you talk to me like that when you're my older sister? I'm going to steal that walking ATM from you whether you like it or not. Sarah? The fact that you're typing out your laughter like that only tells me one thing. That you're brain dead and need to be put in an institution. You ass! Well, who cares what you think? I'm in a great mood today, so I'll refrain from fighting back right now. So what the hell is it this time, Livia? Your super rich husband has become my man now. Huh? That's what I'm wanting to tell you today. Can I ask you something then? What's that? Livia, where are you right now? That's what you want to ask? I'm at the apartment where you and your husband have been living, in your guys' bedroom. I'm not asking about what room you're in. Tell me what the address of the place is. I just told you the address. I'm at your apartment. Yesterday you left on a business trip and have not been home since, right? That's why your husband ended up calling me to come over and see him. And we've been laying in the bed that's normally reserved for you and him, making some of the best love we've ever had. I've been with him all night long making love, so we never ended up getting any sleep at all. Would you shut the hell up about all of that, you annoying little freak? Well, I just want you to know how happy we are with one another. Well, I don't care about all those gross details. Huh? Since yesterday, I have been at my house and haven't gone anywhere. Huh? I was just in my bedroom making the bed and everything, and as far as I'm aware, you were not in there. So what's going on here? Have you completely lost your mind now and believe that you're in my house having sex? Or have you started trying drugs and are having a really crazy trip right now? No way, Sarah. Well, then just know that currently there is nobody inside my house that is not supposed to be here. See ya. Hold on a sec. You just had your husband stolen from you, and yet you're not going to start crying about it or anything? Sarah, thank you so much for getting that divorce for me. Just this morning, we both went to the courthouse and got married. Huh? I haven't gotten a divorce, Livia. That lie isn't going to work on me, all right? After all, I went to the courthouse with your ex, and we both handed in the documents needed to get married, and they were able to process it all. If you were telling the truth, then we wouldn't have been able to get married then, right? So stop it with those lies. What courthouse did you end up going to? The one next to the Carlton City Hall. Carlton? Turns out that this super rich $500,000 a year making man loves me a lot more than you. So sorry about that. All right, so I wasn't wrong about you being nowhere close to my house. And just like I'd said before, I don't have any idea what you mean by a man making $500,000 a year. What? Hey, Livia, I think it's getting time for you to stop trying to pick on me like that. Don't you think the same? I totally get that a little sister like you who came from a completely different mother has always had something against me ever since your dad married my mom. And I felt the same way about you since you've always been trying to get in my way. The whole reason I left the house at the same time I went to college was with the hopes that you and I could forget about each other and live our own separate lives. So how about you learn to stop caring about me so much, and then you won't have to keep playing games with me, all right? If you can't do that, then I'm going to just block you instead. I'm not going to stop. Why not? Because if you leave me and I can't pick on you anymore like this, then my one form of happiness will be lost forever. I finally was able to go to your place and steal your husband from you and everything, even getting married to him today with the hopes of getting some form of entertainment out of you. You can go ahead and block me if you want, but I'll just get a new number and start calling and texting you from there. Now, let me tell you the good stuff. We are having our wedding in 6 months. It'll be a $100,000 wedding, so you have to be there to enjoy it with me. And your ex, my husband, said he'll be paying for the whole wedding. That's what I expected from my ATM husband who makes $500,000 a year. I love this. You are such a pain in the ass. Huh? Go ahead and have your fun then. Well, that's taking into consideration that the marriage and wedding you're talking about is even a real thing. And not some strange delusion of yours from whatever drugs you're on. None of it matters to my life and I anyway, so see ya. What are you talking about? I can't believe you are so destroyed by losing your husband to me. Livia, do you have a second? Well, look who it is. It's Sarah. I never knew you had the ability to send me any texts first. How rare. Oh, is this because you finally came to realizing that you do want to be a part of my wedding taking place tomorrow? What? 3 months ago, I sent you an email with the invite to my wedding and everything in it for the RSVP. But then I was told your email didn't exist and that the email couldn't be sent to you. And you never responded to any of my texts either. So unfortunately, I had no choice but to not put you on the guest list, and there was nothing prepared for you. However, I'll be very nice to you this time by calling the venue right now and asking them to add you on the list last minute. So you'd better thank me later. I can see you're still under the effects of whatever drug you've been taking, rambling on by yourself like that. But I wanted to ask who you're married to. Like, what's his name? I always thought that you were just playing around that whole time with the whole getting married and having a wedding thing. But it turns out you weren't kidding, and so I wanted to check with you to see who you were having the wedding with. Oh, all right, okay. I'm with Robert, the man that I stole from you before, who was making $500,000 a year. I was right on the money again. So, now you can tell that he is completely mine now and will never be going back to you again, right? That man, he and I used to work for the same company before I changed jobs and started working someplace else. He was in a different department, though, so I don't really have anything to do with him. What? The only thing that I ever seem to have in common with the guy is that after I got married, my last name changed to that of the same name as his. I think where you got all confused was that right there. Our last names. Huh? Also, just to make sure that there is no more confusion here, my husband and Robert have no relation to one another at all. They are not family and they are not friends. He just so happens to have the same last name, but besides that, he's a complete stranger to me. Are you sure? By the way, do you know the name of Robert's ex-wife at all? Well, now that you mention it, he never told me her name. I thought for sure that I didn't need to ask about her because she was you. I see, Livia. I think you'd better give up on that marriage with him sooner rather than later, all right? What? If you don't get that divorce from him soon, you're only going to be hurting yourself even more in the future. I can promise you that. Actually, I'm sure things will already be pretty rough for you now in the next couple of days or weeks. Sarah, could this mean that you are trying to go after my ATM husband now, who is bringing in $500,000 a year? Huh? I knew that's where this was all going. Hold it right there, Livia. I'm not going to shut up and listen to you anymore. That guy, Robert, he's been arrested by the police a few times before. Huh? Yesterday, I got a call from Robert's ex-wife where she told me all about him. 7 years ago, he had caused some fights and was arrested by the police for assaulting someone. Huh? It all started with him being exposed by another coworker of his for harassing people in the office, which led to him being fired by the company. He then got into a fight with that coworker outside of the office and had to serve a short sentence and pay some settlements after. He then tried to find work in a different company after all that, but they were able to see he had a criminal record. Huh? I'm just telling you what I've learned about that man, so you figure out the rest and decide whether you really want to stay married to him or not. See ya! Sarah! I have no idea what's going on here anymore. What is it this time, Livia? Robert's ex-wife just came barging into our wedding without even giving me a second to see who she was. She grabbed Robert and dragged him away with her, and I don't know where they went. So you actually went through with having the wedding? I thought I told you not to take things any further. Because of his ex-wife, this wedding is having to be canceled now, though. Why is this having to happen to me? No matter what's going on with you there, do you really think it's going to help you any whining to me about all of that? But this was all your dirty work, right? You've been wanting my rich husband who makes $500,000 a year, and so you worked together with his ex-wife in order to try and steal him away from me, right? You think I'm going to let you get away with that? Huh? How the hell could I have anything to do with all of that when I'm overseas right now? What? You're overseas right now? I can see this whole conversation is getting nowhere with you, so I'll tell you everything in order to get you off my back. My husband and I, we met within the same company and started to date there. But with our marriage, we decided to take that opportunity to move overseas to one of the newly opened offices and help support its growth. We've been living here for a year now and have no plans of moving back to the US anytime soon. Even if you are overseas, that doesn't disprove the fact that you could have gotten help from my husband's ex-wife to do your dirty work. This is so pointless. I guess I'll have to do this to you then, since you can't seem to get a grip on reality here. Here we go. To start, the one making that $500,000 a year has turned out to be the ex-wife. Huh? She has helped in the building of many companies and also owns a lot of properties which she flips and sells for 4 to 5 times the buying price. Wait. You have that all wrong. Robert is the one who does all of that. And all of that seems to be your biggest mistake. What? Also, when it comes to the divorce of Robert and his ex-wife, that wasn't done with the both of their consent. It turns out that Robert handed in the paperwork without her approval and then fled from her. Huh? And his ex only came around to realizing he handed in those papers and got the divorce 2 days ago. It's not like she didn't want the divorce and everything, since she already had a few problems with the man, including the fact that she knew he was cheating on her with you. But the fact that he used her savings to pay for your whole entire wedding today is something she is not letting either of you get away with, hence her barging in there and taking him away. She plans to tear Robert a new one, and that's why you didn't even get a chance to talk with her before they both vanished. From what she's told me, she's not even going to take legal action with him, as her plan is to force him to work for all that money of hers that he spent, and she knows where he can do that. What the hell? None of this is making any sense to me. There is something that makes sense to me in all of this. What's that? I'm not sure if the plan was for the wedding to be paid before or after the event by Robert. But his ex was able to freeze all of her accounts before he could take any more money from her, and since she has him now, you're going to have to figure out a way to pay for that wedding. If anything still has to be paid off, that is. What? You were telling me before the wedding is $100,000, right? What? I'm not sure how much is left to be paid for and how you plan on paying it off. But if things are as Robert's ex had explained to me, you still have at least another $30,000 to $40,000 that needs to be paid off. Wait. And of course, that's not all you'll have to pay. You were having an affair with a married man for a little while there, so his ex-wife is going to make sure you pay her a settlement for doing that. I'm sure that Robert, who is making $500,000 a year, will be able to pay that all off for me. And if you were listening to me, you'd know he's not making squat right now. His ex is the one making the big bucks. I told you Robert was fired years ago and has not been able to find a place that will hire him since, right? What? To put it all into perspective for you, not only does Robert have a criminal record, but he is unemployed after losing his job years ago as well. And then, in order to marry you, he went and handed in that divorce paperwork without his wife knowing at the time. And while doing that, he took some money from her savings account in order to pay for your guys' wedding that was today. Naturally, his ex is not happy about any of this, and is not going to forgive either of you for what's happened. And that's why you can expect her to go full send with you both here. Therefore, whatever money is left to be owed to the wedding planner and venue has to be handled by you and Robert. Huh? And since you had an affair with a man you knew was married at the time, it is 100% likely that you'll have to pay a settlement to his ex-wife now. No way, you're joking! Are you understanding things now? But the wedding is canceled now! And that's happened on the day of your wedding, so you still have to pay 100% of those costs. I don't have any money, though! And the only thing I have to say to that is you won't be getting any money unless you find a way to work for the money. Why do I have to? Because you were the one asking for all of this. This is all because you decided to get married. And had you just done your research a little better, then you would have noticed that I wasn't even in the US, and therefore you could never steal my husband from me. That's not true. I didn't do anything wrong here. None of this is my fault. And if that's what you still want to think, then so be it. Just be aware that no matter how hard you try to turn a blind eye to reality, your responsibilities will catch up to you, and every second you leave them unkempt adds another second to the hell you'll have to go through. Sarah! Now, good luck with whatever hell awaits you next. Wait, Sarah! Help me, Sarah! During this whole mess of events, I'm sure you're wondering what my parents were both doing, right? My dad hated the fact that this wedding was all happening because his daughter thought she was stealing my husband, so he never showed up to it. However, my mom ended up thinking that her little girl could never be in the wrong, and thought that I had set it all up, which led to our parents getting into a heated fight. And wouldn't you know, that led to a divorce as well. When this happened, Livia began to freak out even more because she was just planning to ask her dad for some money to help her pay everything off, which now no longer was an option for her. She had a massive fight with our mom over it, saying it was her fault for pushing Dad away, and that led to those two cutting ties to one another. Thinking that she could be just like me, Livia screamed at our mom before running off that she'd leave the US too and make tons of money, and that was the last of it. I'm not sure where Livia ended up going, but I heard from Robert's ex-wife that she received all the money from Livia that she'd asked for in one big payment. And along with that money was a message from a random number to me saying I was fooled and nothing else. To this day, I have no idea where Livia went, but that number was from Mexico, so that's a good guess, I suppose.